Hujambo na karibu. Karibu tena katika ufalme wa Kiswahili. Kama jamii tunasaidiana kukikuza na kukiimarisha Kiswahili chetu. Kwa hiyo nakusihi bonyeza hicho kidude hapo chini, subscribe, endelea kunifuata, ujifunze Kiswahili bila ya kulipa kitu chochote. Sawa sawa, jiunge hapa tuwe jamii moja. Leo tunajifunza kuhusu passive voice. We are going to learn something about the passive voice in Swahili. In this passive voice, I'm going to give you the reported speech in Swahili, how to use the reported speech formally and informally. And from there, after that, I'm going to give you the passive voice, how to form it. It is formed in two ways. How to form the Swahili passive voice verbs. They are formed in two ways. I'm going to show you that. So, without further ado, let's continue with this video. So let's start with the reported speech. Let's start with the reported speech. I'm going to start with the formal. So when you want to say that someone has said something, you are reporting it to someone. For example, if you are with a person and they say, I'm not going to come for the meeting, and then when you are at the meeting, you report to someone else there, you are going to say, he said he's not going to come to the meeting. He said he's not going to come to the meeting. So in Swahili you're going to say alisema hatakuja mkutanoni. Alisema hatakuja mkutanoni. Alisema, he said. Hatakuja, he won't come mkutanoni, at the meeting. Very direct. That's how you say in the formal speech. Alisema hatakuja mkutanoni. Now let's switch. Let's say the person that you are reporting to is somehow your friend, okay? Your friend, not like you are not supposed to use very formal things. So you are using informal stuff. So you are going to say, for example, if they ask you, John yuko wapi? Where is John? John yuko wapi? Eti hatakuja mkutanoni. Okay, you can just say like that. But in the informal, you can remove the word alisema and replace it with eti. So the word eti will mean he said, and then hatakuja mkutanoni will mean he will not come in the meeting or at the meeting. Okay? So for example, when they ask, John yuko wapi? You can say, eti hatakuja mkutanoni. Or you can say, amesema eti hatakuja mkutanoni. That one too adds an informal touch when you add ata. So, when you add eti. You can use eti by removing alisema, or you can use it by just using alisema and adding eti. Let's repeat it. You can say eti hatakuja mkutanoni, or you can say alisema eti hatakuja mkutanoni. They mean he said he won't come in the meeting. Okay, so that is formal and informal. Okay, those are two ways of using a reported speech in Swahili. Now, let's go to the formation of passive verbs in Swahili. First of all, what are passive verbs? What are passive verbs? Passive verbs are words that when used, like you can't identify the person who did the action immediately. For example, let me give you an example in English. When I say the book was read, the book was read. Okay, the book was read. That is a passive voice sentence. That is a passive voice sentence or a passive sentence. Because you don't know who read the book. The book was read. You don't know who read the book. So in Swahili, you will say kitabu kilisomwa. The book was read. The person who read the book has not been identified. Okay? Now, let me show you how to form passive verbs in Swahili. We are going to start with the first way. The first way is using Swahili. The first way is using the Bantu verbs. Okay, when you're using the Bantu verbs, just a point of reference, Bantu verbs are those verbs that are ending in a in Swahili. A. For example, kula, kucheka, kunywa, kununua, those are Bantu verbs. Yeah, okay. So when you are using Bantu verbs ending with a and they are having one vowel at the end, you are supposed to remove that vowel. For example, let's use the Bantu verb kuuza. Kuuza is to sell. Uza. Kuuza. So we are going to remove a and put wa. Okay? So kuuza will become kuuzwa, which means to be sold. Kuuza is to sell. Kuuzwa, to be sold. I can use an example. Let me use active verb and a passive verb. So I'm going to use kuuza and then use kuuzwa. For example, aliuza gari. Aliuza gari. That one means he sold a car. So you know it's a person who sold a car, blah, blah, blah. He sold a car. Aliuza gari. But when you go to the passive, okay, you are going to say gari liliuzwa. The car was sold. Gari liliuzwa. The car was sold. If you want to let know the person who is listening to mention to, if you want the person who is listening to know the person who sold the car, you are going to say, for example, gari liliuzwa na Bakari. Na Bakari. Gari liliuzwa na Bakari. The vehicle was sold by Bakari. Okay, so that is the first way to make the first passive verb in Swahili. Just to repeat, these verbs are Bantu verbs and they are ending with one vowel. So you remove the last vowel and you add wa. Kuuzwa. Some other examples that you can find, we have kusomwa, which is coming from kusoma, to read, to be read. We also have kulipwa, to be paid. We have kulwa, to be eaten. We have kujengwa, to be built. Kuchorwa, to be drawn. Okay? We have kuulizwa, to be asked. Kuulizwa, to be asked. Now let's go to the second way of forming Swahili passive verbs. So this one we add liwa, which is liwa. Liwa. Okay? So let me show you. These verbs are also Bantu. They are also Bantu verbs, which you add liwa. But the difference is they end with double vowels. For example, nunua. Nunua is ending with u and a, double vowels. Okay, two vowels. So when you have such a verb, it becomes nunuliwa. For example, when I say kitabu kilinunuliwa, it means the book was bought. If I want to mention the person who bought the book, I will say kitabu kilinunuliwa na Bakari. The book was bought by Bakari. Okay? Kununuliwa has two vowels at the end, double. Okay, that's why you are adding liwa. Another one, we can use kuchukua. Kuchukua also has two vowels at the end. It becomes kuchukuliwa. For example, kitabu kilichukuliwa. The book was taken. Kitabu kilichukuliwa. The book was taken. If you want to put it in the active way, you are going to say alichukua kitabu. He took the book. Okay, or alinunua kitabu. He bought the book. Okay, so those are the two ways of forming the passive verbs in Swahili. Those are the two ways. And then we also have Arabic verbs, which are not so hard for you to form passive verbs. But at the moment, we are going to stop there, continue reading for you to get more engaging verbs. And when you get the verbs and you feel like it's formed differently and you're not understanding, just comment down here and we are going to help you on that. And if you have any other question as well, you can comment down here for us to help you on that. We are here as a family to help each other. And now I have something to tell you about ghosts, okay? And I'm going to speak in Swahili. We are going to have English subtitles down there. Ghosts in Swahili are called mizimu. Mizimu. Leo nitaongea kuhusu mizimu. Ushawahi sikia kitu chochote kuhusu mizimu au hadithi yoyote kuhusu mizimu? Sisi tukiwa wadogo tulikuwa tunaambiwa hadithi kuhusu mizimu na tuliogopa sana. Niambie hapo chini kama ushawahi sikia kitu chochote kuhusu mizimu na ulijihisi vipi? Ulisikiaje? Uliogopa ama ulifurahia ama ulicheka? Ulifanya nini? Niambie hapo chini. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Kwaheri.